Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Wednesday. Um, in full transparency, life has been busy and I almost did not go live today. For those of you who've been joining along for the past, maybe about a month now, I've been going live on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern. Um, and it's something that I wanted to do to just share information, share perspectives, share tips, share helpful information all around style, confidence, your wardrobe, so that, and I can just help and reach out to as many women of color as possible, um, to just give you a little bit of juice, a little bit of boost in your day to help you feel like you can show up more confidently and more authentically. So, this past week has been wild. Okay. And I was like, oh, I forgot to schedule the LinkedIn Live. Oh no, people might not know, people might not get to attend live, yada, yada, yada. Right. And then I said, you know what, Nana? What's most important? That it's perfect or that you continue to be consistent in what you decided was an important, activity and way of engagement and connection for you. Um, what's more important, right? And so I chose the latter. And I said, let's hop on and let's give the good people some good information today. And that's what we're about to do. All right. So today we're going to talk about 5 ways to elevate your style. And so I want to give you some quick tips that you can begin to implement and apply that's really going to help you to take your wardrobe a step up. Okay? Take it up a notch. All right? So, if you are catching this live or if you catch this on the replay, drop in the comments. All right? Let me know that you were here. Say a hello. And you already know if there is a gem that gets dropped, if there's a nugget that gets put down and you pick it up, put it put it in the comments so I know that there was something that was useful and valuable for you um, during this live. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to talk about 5 ways that you can elevate your style is because one of the most common questions and even scenarios that a lot of the women that I work with talk about is this feeling that their style is a little blah, as I like to say, right? It's been feeling boring. Um, they are have fallen into a rut of sorts, it seems, where oftentimes they feel like their closet has a lot of black and not enough color. Um, Sometimes they feel like there has been a change in weight or body shape, and so the closet's filled with pieces, some that fit, some that don't, some that they just don't even feel good in anymore, right? And then there's just this overarching feeling that things are just at a level that's down here and it's not rising to the occasion of where they really are in their life and in their career or where they even desire to be, right? It's just unmotivating, it's uninspiring. It's just like, yeah, I just put the clothes on, but like I want to feel good in the clothes. Like I want to feel that I am attracting the attention that I desire. I want to feel like I'm in alignment with the brand that I'm trying to build, right? I want to feel like I'm worthy of being in the room amongst other leadership players and senior leaders from my company, right? It's that energy that they want to invoke. And right now, the wardrobe just ain't doing it. So I want to talk to you about some specific things to keep in mind and some specific tips to implement to help you begin to make that important shift in your closet and in your style. All right, so let's go, let's hit it. The first one is an oldie but a goodie. It's something I say often if you've been on any previous lives with me, but it's so very important. And that is what I like to call the CAB: clothing, accessories, and beauty. You must have all three of these pieces in place to feel like you have an elevated look. And when we talk about an elevated look, like, you all know who's the person that's in your office. Like, think about that person. It comes to the top of your head, I'm sure, very easily, right? That person in your office, in your organization, maybe even in your life in some other personal capacity, who every time you see them, you think, man, she, he, they're just always on point. It's just always so well put together, right? I such the common language I hear all the time. Man, I just want to be more well put together, right? So you know what that person looks like, who you see all the time, and they are consistently on it. When they enter in this space, you just go, oh, girl, you look so good, right? And then you begin to compliment them. Love the hair, love the shoes, like, oh, like everything, right? It elicits a reaction from you. So the reason why that person does that, one, I guarantee they're doing a lot of the internal work, right, on themselves. Hello, hopefully. Um, and then secondly, when it comes to their image and their appearance, they focus on hitting these three areas in the CAB: their clothing, their accessories, and their beauty. So they make sure that their clothing is on point, right? The fit is great, the quality, the color, the cut, all of those elements are in alignment, right? They're very clear on what their style is, right? So their clothing is of great quality. Their accessories, they have accessorized, right? They've got their shoe game on point, and really shoes could fall into clothing or accessories depending on how you want to look at it. But they've got their shoe game on point, right? They've got jewelry happening, right? You're not going to catch them without some kind of jewelry piece going on. And then they often have some other unexpected accessory in the mix, right? And then their beauty, their hair, their skin or makeup, right? Like, you can tell that they've taken care and put forth effort in that department. The hair is styled. There is a style that is happening. Okay. They didn't just throw it up, right? Or tie it back, or not do anything to it, but it's styled, right? And then you can look at their face and tell, like, oh man, just a really great fresh face. Maybe the face is beat tante, right? Or maybe they just have really great skin. Or maybe you love the lip color they have, right? But the biggest thing that you can see is that there's intention in each of these three areas, that they have carefully curated their look and have checked the box to make sure that their clothing is on point, their accessories are on, and that their beauty is finished. And these are the keys to an elevated look. If you miss any of these, your look is going to be subpar. It's going to be basic. It's not going to feel finished. Okay? You can't have great clothes and then you're like, I don't accessorize, and I don't really do too much with my hair or my skincare or makeup. Nah, I keep it pretty plain. There's gonna be a pasty element there. There's going to be a basic element there. It's going to feel unfinished. So it's really important that you nail all three of these when you're getting dressed. And the more that you do that, your wardrobe is going to shift, your style is going to shift, your confidence is going to shift. And what's also important is that you're going to do this consistently, because consistency is what is going to help you get to the result that you desire. which is moving out of this space where you feel like your wardrobe is boring or uninspiring to feeling like you are more put together more of the time, right? So I want to seriously emphasize that if you are getting dressed and you are missing one of these elements in the cab, you got to get it together. Every day when you get dressed, you should have your clothing, accessories, and beauty checked. All right? Especially when we talk about the workplace. This is super important. This is the kind of stuff, these are the intangibles that people don't speak about that invite. Well, let me not push on to the other elements, other tips that I have for you, because I'm about to go there and just give it all to you on the top, okay? But making sure that you have your clothing, accessories, and beauty consistently in your look is going to help you elevate your wardrobe every time. Okay, that's number one. Number two, investing in higher quality pieces. So a lot of us, know the price points that we typically shop at, right? You could say, I tend to use a $1, $2, $3, and $4 sign rating with my clients. So there will be certain stores that fall in a $1 sign, which is typically like under $50, to $4 signs, which could be over $500, right? And so there's this whole range. And right? And if you don't know, you should take inventory and take stock of what you typically spend on most items, right? So whether it is a dress, a blouse, pair of shoes, earrings, right? You want to be clear on what you normally spend on these items. So one of the most important things to consider when you're thinking about elevating your wardrobe is that you're going to also elevate the price point that you invest in certain pieces. Because the fact of the matter is that there are brands that are put into this luxury or boutique, or high end category, a lot of times for good reason, because the quality of the fabrics they use, the the expertise of the technicians, of the seamstress, like these people are extremely skilled and it shows in the quality of the garment, right? So you know that if you decide to shop and do some fast fashion shopping, right? If that's something that that you do, because quite honestly, that might be where your price point is right now, right? So for you, that might mean that, maybe you're doing some shopping. Um, Maybe you're doing some mixes of Zara, right? Zara is a pretty popular brand for a lot of folks when it comes to shopping and buying some pieces. And I think that Zara has a lot of great pieces there at a really affordable price points, right? So maybe you're doing some pieces there at Zara. And, Zara typically has price points that are, I would say, $150 and under, right? You may recognize that you go to Zara and you get some blouses because you can get them for around $50. You might need to make an investment in a blazer or your shoes, you know, in at another store that has a higher price point. Okay. If you're doing things and you're going to a department store, that might look like a Nordstrom for you, because Nordstrom is pretty much in most cities across the United States. So that might be easy, low hanging fruit for you to go into a Nordstrom and to go browse the different brands, right? And a lot of times, especially based on the way they organize the store, you can specifically go to those floors where there might be a higher end brand that you might not know of, which is a great opportunity for you to increase your awareness of other brands. But it's also an opportunity for you to see the difference in the quality of the materials and the quality of the garments, Okay. I know for me, even like it was often very intimidating, sometimes even to this day, depending on where I'm going, to enter into the Louis Vuittons and the YSLs and all of that, you know? Like, personally, that's not my style jam. That doesn't make me all warm and fuzzy inside. I'd much rather shop black owned. Hello. But there is an association of luxury and quality with those brands. And for good reason, because like I mentioned, those pieces, you see it. You see the difference in that versus Forever 21, right? You see it. It's very apparent. But what's helpful is by going and looking at some of those pieces, one, you get an idea of the price point, you get an idea of the quality differences, right? And there might be pieces that you walk in and you're like, man, I actually really love these shoes. And that could be an area where you say, you know what? I I know that if I'm wearing these shoes, like the level of confidence that I'm going to have myself is going to be exponentially increased. That's going to be a small thing that I can do to help me feel more on point going into my next meeting, right? Like those are some small investments that you can make that could have a significant impact on how you present yourself at work. So, if this is an area that you need to explore, do so, right? Go check out some of these other brands. Go check out your local boutiques. I think boutiques are a great space in any city for you to go in and learn about a lot of brands that you might not know about and see some other pieces that are at great price points. Um, and it also that allows you to do it in an intimate space, which I like. And a lot of times with at boutiques, the boutique owners are a lot more knowledgeable about the brands, um, and they can just provide like an extra special touch, right? And so and it's a lot of times very much curated. So when you're passing a boutique on the street, like you can often tell from what they've merchandised in the windows if that style is going to resonate with you, right? Like almost instantly, you're going to see something, you're going to be like, wow, the cut of those pants, that's totally me. I love straight leg, sharp, crisp lines. Let me walk in here and see what they've got, right? So don't be afraid to enter into some of these stores, like enter into some of these places that you might not normally shop, but that the pieces are of a higher quality than where you currently purchase. Okay. So and ultimately what you're doing here is you want to have a mix of high and low. And that simply means that you want to have a mix of pieces that might be at a higher price point and some that might be at a lower price point, right? Everything in your closet doesn't need to have an average price point of $1,000. It's not necessary to have great style, right? The higher the cost doesn't equal the better the wardrobe or the better the style. That's a false reality. Okay. That's a myth. Let me bust that open for you in case you were holding on to that. Um, but what's really important is that you recognize the quality in the piece, right? And then you mix that with some other pieces that are at price points that might feel a little bit more affordable or comfortable for you right now. And sometimes when you make those first couple of hey Tiffany, thank you. Um, these glasses are Karen Walker. Um, when you begin to make these investments for some of those pieces, right? Sometimes it can be like, oh, sticker shock. What's that? What's the price tag on that? Like, man, I usually buy blouses, as an example. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, I usually pay about $50 for a blouse. This blouse is $100 or $125. That's like, ooh, that's a 2x on that. You might have to 2 or 3x what you would normally pay for something in order to get a higher quality, right? That just might be what is required. And the reason why you do that is because those pieces are going to last a lot longer in your wardrobe. And those are going to be the types of pieces that are really more aligned with the style that you want to have. And typically, that type of style is one that feels elevated, feels sophisticated, right? And just has a a lot of clients use the words like polished, right? And might have that kind of feel for you, but it has an element that makes you rise to the occasion. It just helps you put it on and you know instantly like, oh, I'm bad. I'm sharp. I'm smart. I look great and I feel amazing. And it's that kind of shift in your energy, it's that kind of reaction. That's what you want, right? That's what you desire because that's going to make you come into your office every day and crush it, right? Tiffany knows quality costs but lasts so much longer. It really does. Because I'm going to tell you, you might go to Forever 21, you might be going to, I love Zara, but sometimes the quality is hit or miss. Okay, might go to Zara and you might buy 3 blouses that cost the price of that one, but those blouses only last you a year or so versus that one that could last you 5 years plus. So sometimes we have to look at the what we call cost per wear, right? Which is basically how much money that you invest in something versus how long you're going to be able to have it in your wardrobe. And sometimes when you look at that and you're like, how many times can I wear this over and over and over again? How much usage am I going to get for this for the price that I paid for it? That cost per wear value could be way further and way larger than some of the things that you might be shopping at now. So ultimately, you want to have a good mix of pieces that are high and low. Now, a lot of times people then will say, well, how do I know which pieces to invest in that are high quality, right? So this leads me into the next tip that I want to provide for you, right, Tiffany? It's definitely worth it to invest. It really is. If you're going to make the same kind of investment in your career to seek out other programs, coaching, professional development services, right? Toastmasters. Like if you're going to make investments in those other areas of your life, ask yourself why that level of investment doesn't translate into what you wear every single day. Just saying. So, as you think about investing in those higher quality pieces, one thing I want you to think about is doing it for the pieces that you wear every day. Okay. And when I say pieces that you wear every day, I really want you to focus on things that you know are part of that are staples in your wardrobe, right? And a lot of times this can be things that align with the seasons and the weather, or these can be things that align with your specific work environment and the type of job that you have, right? But these are pieces and items that you wear every single day. So I'm going to give you some examples. Number one, eyeglasses, right? Like if you are a person who wears glasses every single day, make it a point to invest in some high quality frames that I think as well are going to be a statement piece. They are going to spark conversation. They're going to invite compliments. Okay. Tiffany already proved that straight out the gate in the comments, talking about love your glasses, right? I intentionally buy frames. I intentionally and bought these Karen Walker frames because I was like, look at this shape. Love it. It's giving me a little cat eye. It's got these really bold frames, got this little arrow on the side, right? And then it comes in this great kind of ivory white, and it goes with everything in my wardrobe, and it pops against my chocolate skin. So be intentional, right, about those kinds of purchases and incorporating them into your closet. So these are pieces that you wear every day, right? That you want to invest in at a higher price point and make them statement making. Okay. So eyeglasses is one example. Another example is your handbags, right? Or your work bag. So if you carry a briefcase, if you carry a bag and you're constantly on a laptop, right? If you're going to court and you're an attorney, like that bag that you use to go to the office every single day, make sure it's of the best quality that you can afford, right? I think that's the other big piece too when we talk about investment in terms of quality. Make it of the highest quality that you can afford. Style is not about going broke, okay? No. Like it is about you making smart investments in yourself, okay? And so really understand where you are financially and what that looks like for you because it varies for everybody. So you want to make the investment that's the best for you based on what you can afford, right? And when you think about those elements, think about again those pieces that you're carrying or using every day, because then they become staples in your wardrobe and they become conversation starters. They invite the compliments, and that just helps boost your confidence, right? So, talked about glasses, talked about handbags, right? That could be just going for a really great quality leather bag, something that's also durable, functional, but it's got that polish. It's got a great color to it. Maybe it has a print. Maybe you've put a monogram in it, right? Of your initials. That's something common that people do to like to add a signature touch. Whatever it is, maybe it has a unique shape to it, right? And that handbag, that work bag, it's forever going to be something that you wear all the time, right? um yes, Tiffany, I'm glad you're loving this conversation. Jerome is saying my wife loves that store. The men's pieces aren't my style. I think you're talking about Zara. Zara's a great store. Okay, we can talk about that, about the men's pieces not being your style. I would invite you to take another gander this fall and see what they got going on. Because I think Zara is a great go to at an affordable price point for a lot of people, depending what their style is, and it also varies on what they have in season, what kind of designs they have. Um, but yeah, so we talked about glasses, your handbags, your shoes. Every day you're wearing shoes every single day, and they're on your feet, and you walk, and you want them to be comfortable, right? So investing in quality shoes that are statement making is a great space. Okay, so this might look like an amazing flat. It might look like a great pump. It might look like a great sneaker. It might look like a great boot, right? It just depends on what you have going on in your closet and what you wear often and what you're doing um in your career, and what aligns with your style type. So there's different variables to keep in mind when you're making these decisions, but it's great to hone in on what's the item, right? When you hone in and make that short list of what are those items that I know are really key staples in my wardrobe because I use them every day, I wear them every day, that helps you kind of reduce the list to say, okay, now I know I wear glasses every day. I should really think about investing in a higher quality statement pair of frames, right? Um, the other piece that I'll add, especially as we're transitioning to fall in the US, is your outerwear, right? Your jacket, your coat. So that might be a trench coat, that might be um, it might be a puffer coat, depending on where you are, because I'm in New York City and it gets cold. um it might be a pea coat, right? Like it might be a leather jacket, right? But that outerwear, that's a piece that you're going to wear every single day, and so you want to invest in a higher quality statement piece for that, because it's constantly going to be seen, right? I don't know how many times, like, I'll be working with a client and I'm like, awesome, that outfit is fabulous. Okay, I love that. Okay, well, what coat you gonna wear? What jacket you gonna wear? And then they put on this jacket and I'm like, you just, it just ruined it. Like the moment, right? You got this amazing dress, shoes, you got your jewelry, your hair done, looking fabulous, like you about to go in and do the daggone thing. And then you put on this raggedy gray pea coat that you didn't have for 10 years that's pilling. And I'm just like, but why? But why would you do that? Like, why? You know, it's like having this amazing meal and you're about to serve it, and then you go get a trash can lid and you put on the trash can and you're like, okay, no, I don't want to eat that anymore. Right? Like it just ruins it. So don't do that to yourself. Really do an assessment. Take a look at your outerwear, your jacket, your coats, and make sure it's on point. Tiffany said, "That sounds like you, girl. Come on now. This is your call to action to make a change in that department." Okay. Tiffany also says shoes are everything for me because I have a huge foot, which makes it a little tough to be stylish at times. I understand. And you said huge. What does huge mean? Is it upwards of 9? I'm just curious. Um, and yes, I understand that. It's sometimes it can be tough to find different pieces depending if you're petite, right? If you're tall, right? Like sometimes those are some of the specialty areas that when it comes to sizing, you have to dig a little deeper, right? But I definitely encourage you. There's so much on the interwebs. I mean, so much. People in similar situations of you have dedicated time. Okay, size 12. Okay, I understand. Um, people have dedicated time to saying, I have a large, what is considered a large foot. Where can I shop? If you Google that, right, you will find lists of places. I guarantee. So don't shy away from that Google search. Jerome asked, can one piece or accessory overpower your whole wardrobe? That's a big question. A little vague. In terms of, I'm not sure when you say whole wardrobe. No. Like, and I guess too, the question is really about your style type and what kind of style you have, right? And what your power pieces are. Like a lot of people get known for things in their style because they adopt that as part of like their style type, and they're almost uniform, right? So that might be that, I know some folks who have just a huge collection of funky glasses, some prescription, some not, but that's their thing, right? That's what you're going to catch them with, right? Or other folks who, like me, I'm a big hat girl, right? So I have a lot of different style hats, so I don't think those pieces overpower. I think you're just very intentional that this is a staple in your wardrobe. This is a piece that you want to be known for because it aligns with your personality. It speaks to who you are. It's a conversation starter, right? It's though it does that for you. It works in your wardrobe in that way. So I don't think it overpowers, but it should definitely empower, right, your wardrobe. Um, okay, so definitely talked about those higher quality pieces. Definitely talked about investing in statement pieces that you wear every day. The other thing that I want for you to keep in mind when you think about elevating your wardrobe, and we'll kind of finish out in this accessories department, is investing in non jewelry accessories. Okay, that is really really important when you're talking about elevating your wardrobe. It's it's an easy go-to. You're welcome, Jerome. I'm glad. I hope that was helpful. It's an easy go-to to think about your jewelry when you're talking about accessories. And it's easy and it's great and it works, right? So find the earrings, find the necklace, find the rings, right? Whatever it is that's a jewelry piece that you can add to your wardrobe to give it that notch up. When you want to take it to the next level, boo, you're going to think about non-jewelry accessories, right? And we gave you some of those examples. Your glasses, right? Hats, right? Potentially ties, bow ties, right? Ascots, like, maybe it's belts for you, right? Like, really begin to think about some other accessories that you can incorporate into your style, because those are going to be differentiators from you. That's going to set you apart from others, where they're going to be like, oh, okay, I like what you're doing with the scarves. Like, you have the scarves wrapped around your neck, Sometimes you wrap them in your hair. Sometimes you use the scarf as a belt, right? And tie it around your waist, right? Like you're really creative with scarves. I love that. That might be something that you choose as another power piece, or a wardrobe staple for you, right? So those are some other ways that I want you to think about accessorizing, is to really look to see what kind of non-jewelry accessories do I have in my wardrobe. And if you don't have any, I would encourage you to invest in some. All right. A couple other tips. Different outfit combinations. This is a biggie. I can say that I think so many clients choose to work with me because of my creativity in this department. Um, you know, Countless times where clients will say things like, Nana would have never put that combination together. And I'm like, I know, this is what I do. This is my gift. Okay. Like, I'm glad I could help you with this. And I'm glad that you were brave enough and trusted me to try it out. And it works, right? So I want you to take a step in this department. If a lot of times, if you are feeling like your closet is boring, or you're looking in your closet and you're just like, it's all the same stuff. I don't want to wear any of this. It just doesn't feel exciting. Like there's not anything that's like pulling you in to get excited about getting dressed in the morning, right? It shouldn't be an activity that's just like feels that pulls you down, right? It should be an activity that pulls you up to get your day started in a great direction. So if you're looking in your closet, in your wardrobe, I would encourage you to try a different combination with your outfit. So if you always wear the same top and bottoms together, right? If you're a classic, listen, I just have my white shirt and my black pants or my navy blue pants and the same black flats or brown flats, right? Like that's what I do. The combination works. It's not bad, but it can get boring. It can get stale. And so, what I want you to do is to mix it up. And I'm going to give you a challenge. And the challenge is that at least one outfit in the week is going to be a different combination that you've never worn before. At least one outfit. Okay? This is something I love to do with clients, is give you a challenge. And a lot of times the challenge can be fun, and it can also be challenging because you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna do that? Right. But it forces you to go into your closet and really look at your clothes. Because I guarantee the closet might be overflowing at the seams, but you still feel like you don't have anything good to wear. That's a problem. There's stuff in there that needs to get cleared out for sure. And then there's other pieces that are great gems, but they're just hiding. You can't see them. So this is forcing you to like really think about, what do I have, to really look through and be like, I've never worn this dress before. Wow, this is still in here. Oh, and it might still have the tag on it, right? Like it's going to force you to search for some things and get a little bit more creative. So I want to give you that challenge to create one outfit during the week that you've never worn before. Okay. Maybe you're going to wear a different shoe. Maybe you're going to layer it with a jacket or a cardigan or a duster, right? Maybe you're going to mix up some of the color combinations, and maybe you're going to take a solid print and mix it as a solid color and mix it with a print, right? Like maybe it's going to be something as simple as that. But I encourage you to have a different outfit combination. Mix those separates, add a layer, add an accessory, right? Add something, change the shoe, do something different. That is the whole goal. Like, if you are feeling like your clothes don't represent who you really are, it's time to do something different. So, I give you that challenge. I want you to embrace it, and don't only do it for the weekend. You're going to work. So, you are to create a different look for work. Doesn't matter whether you're going to the office, doesn't matter whether you're working from home. Try a different combination. Okay. Okay, and then last but not least, my favorite, add vibrant color in your clothing. In your clothing specifically. okay? And I want you to add it in your clothing specifically around, again, pieces that you wear often. Okay, this might not be pieces that you wear every day, but these are pieces that you wear often. So, for a lot of the women that I work with, this comes into play in our tops, right? Because our tops are really like the pieces that you wear the most, right? If you wear a lot of separates, where you wear a top, a blouse, a sweater, you know, a high quality tee, whatever it might be, then you're pairing that with a pair of pants or a skirt, right? Um, so really, it's about having color in those blouses. And the reason why color is so important when you're talking about elevating your style is, one, it's so close to your face. And it is one of the best and easiest ways to brighten up your face and invite attention for conversation, because people are visual. And when they see that color resonate against your skin, they're going to be inclined to make a comment. They're going to be inclined to say something. They're going to compliment you. They're going to say, wow, that color is amazing. And that's because it's closest to your face. Okay. So having color in your blouses and your tops is really first and foremost. Next is in pieces that you might be layering with that, or if you wear a lot of, like, what I like to call one and dones, where you wear just one piece in your finish, you can incorporate color there too. And that might be dresses, right? Dresses is, like your first one and done. I love dresses. You put it on, put a shoe, put some jewelry, grab your handbag, you're out the door. Okay. So, really looking at your dresses, ladies. If your dresses are all black and navy, like, change it up. These deep, dark neutrals, they can be great as a layering base, but if you want to really elevate things, add that pop of color, right? And again, this is not an extreme thing here. It doesn't have to be all color or no color. Find the good balance for yourself, right? you know like, it might be something that for every three dresses you have one that has a pop of color, right? Like, if you need to, like, interject some of these rules, because I know a lot of times I get to work with clients and they want all the rules. Tell me what I can't wear, tell me what I can wear, and I'm like, I don't work like that. Like, I'm going to invite you to learn so that you can make better decisions. Okay, and I'm going to give you guidance, um, but it's not about yes and no, and you can't do this and you can't do that, because you could do anything you want. But the question is, is it aligning with the impression you want to make? Does it communicate the messages that you want to send? And does it attract the attention that you desire? Everything's a question, right? Decisions have consequences and have reactions. So you're making choices that are going to align with the outcomes you desire. Okay. So that's what it's really about. So, yes, I'm going to give you things that I'm like, you know what? I don't think these are the best. I don't think these are in your best interest. There's going to be reasons why, right? There's going to be, I love to inform and educate and say, well, this is why it's not the best cut for you because of your shape. This is a more flattering cut. Or with your skin tone, these are the colors that are really going to pop, right? So it's just really about understanding these kinds of elements. So when you're thinking about injecting color, you could have, your style might be one that you enjoy neutrals, right? Where you open your closet and that is what you desire. You desire a lot of neutral color palettes. Well, that's great. And that is probably quintessential, like, classic style. But I guarantee, if you're my kind of gal, you're feeling like some things are missing and you want to venture into color, but you don't know how, and you don't know which colors are the best, and you don't know, like, what should I invest the color pieces in? Like, where should I put color into my wardrobe? And if that's the case, I recommend, again, those tops, some blouses, and those dresses. I think those are two great spaces to start for yourself. Um, and I think that's going to allow you to add those pops and those punches of color. Colors that I highly recommend that I think are great places to start: red. Red is the most vibrant and striking color out there. Red is also on a spectrum. So you might be doing a red that feels like a cranberry apple red, or maybe you have to go a little bit deeper and do more of a burgundy, because that kind of, cranberry or fire engine red feels a little intimidating for you, right? Find the shade of red that works for you. Go a little deeper. Play with the burgundies. Those are still great, right? Um, your blues: teal blue, cobalt blue. These are amazing blue colors that are going to add vibrancy, add pop, and really play really well on the skin, especially for melanated women. Um, Emerald green is another color that I love, that is vibrant, energetic. It looks great on so many women. Um, your purples, your violet purples, or your aubergines, like your deep eggplant color purples. These are also other great colors that look great that you can incorporate into your wardrobe. So there's a gamut there, Simply choose one. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just choose one and find some blouses, find some dresses, and incorporate them. The other piece when it comes to incorporating color in your clothing that I'd recommend is in your blazers, right? Blazers are the great layering pieces. They're classic staples in office wear. You can mix them over a dress. You could wear them with some jeans. You could do so much with them. And adding a punch of, like, a pop of color in your blazer is going to go a long way in elevating the game, because it takes that casual, basic black, basic navy, and just punches it up a notch. It just says that, like, I'm not afraid to be in the room and be seen and be noticed, because that's what you want. That's what you desire, right? You want to be noticed by your peers. You want to take up space. So if that's what you desire, then elevating your wardrobe is a requirement. That's a thing that you got to get in tune with, right? But you know that. That's why you're watching this. So those are the tips that I wanted to share with you today. I hope they were helpful. If you're catching this live or you are catching this on a replay, definitely drop in the comments and let me know which of the tips were really helpful for you or that you're going to try. Maybe you're going to try the challenge. Maybe you're going to revisit the price points of what you invest in terms of your pieces. Maybe you're going to try a new brand at a higher price point than you normally would. Maybe you're going to look at some of your non-jewelry accessories and figure out, okay, I don't have any. What should I invest in now, right? There's a number of different ways that you can start to really take things up a notch in your wardrobe. And if you are in a place where you're like, you know what, Nana, I need some hand holding, I need some guidance, because I could spend the time trying to figure this out myself, but why do that when I could hire an expert? If you are that type of person and you're like, I need somebody to just guide me along the way, give me information so I could do this and learn how to dress myself in a really amazing and confident way for the long term. But I need some support right now, right? And seasons are changing, fall and winter's around the corner. I'm looking in my closet and I'm like, I don't have what I need to feel fabulous and confident at work. If that's you, then I want you to DM me ready. Simply DM me the word ready. And I want to invite you to have a conversation. I'm going to ask you a few questions. And hopefully, if things are in alignment, we'll hop on a phone call together and we'll do what I like to call a style discovery call. And that's simply an opportunity for us to talk about your style goals and career goals over the next 12 months, understand where your wardrobe challenges currently are, and then I can share some of the ways that I can help you and talk more about the Style Elevation Experience, which is my signature style coaching program that's all about helping women move from uncertainty and boredom in their wardrobe to really finding what their bold, authentic style looks like. And so if you recognize that this kind of shift is what you need to really get your career accelerating in a way that feels good and is going to help you feel more confident in these spaces where you might be feeling a little bit unseen and unheard, we need to shift the energy on that. And that's exactly what this program is designed to do. So if your ears are perking, drop me a DM with the word ready, and we're going to have a conversation and figure out if we're a good fit and if this program could be a great solution for you. All right. Okay, y'all. I hope you have a fabulous rest of the day. And I'm going to holla at you next week, Wednesday at 9 a.m. for another LinkedIn Live with Nana. Peace.